Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about the best ways to pay off your debt. So whether you have credit card debt, personal loans, car loans, student loans, I'm going to be talking about the best ways how you can tackle that debt from today and finally get rid of it. But first of all, my name is Jodie. I live and work in London and I've worked in finance for the last 10 years and recently started this YouTube channel because I want to share those tips with people and help people get control of their finances again and be better with their money. So let's get into the video. The first thing to think about is the why. Why have you gotten into this situation? I know sometimes it depends on the country. Like if you were watching in America, hello guys, I know that your student loans can be incredibly expensive. Or even in the UK now, the loans are getting very expensive to go to university here. However, if you're racking up credit card debt, that's a different story. Because oftentimes with credit card debt, it may mean that you're living above your means, you're living this lifestyle to keep up with the Joneses, or maybe you're living in an area that's too expensive based on your salary. So you're leaking into your credit cards every month and trying to keep up this lifestyle that actually you shouldn't really be living at all. Similarly, if you've got a big personal loan, maybe you've borrowed money from family and friends, that can just be chaotic and add a load of different dimensions onto your loan because you may have, messed up that relationship with that friend, that colleague, or that family member. So really understanding the why you've gotten into a situation, are you trying to live above your means? Are you trying to show off? Are you trying to look richer than you actually are? If that is the case, maybe you need to peel back those layers a bit more before you tackle into paying this debt and try and understand, okay, once I've paid off my debt, how can I not get into this situation again? Because it's all well and good to pay off your credit cards, but if you're going to rack up that debt again, it's obviously an inner problem that you are facing. Now let's get into the how. So how can you pay off your debt? There are two main ways that I like to talk about, and that is the snowball method and the avalanche method. And there's different ways as to why you might choose one of these. And I think a lot of them are psychological. So in this example, what I'll show you, let's say you've got 5 different, debts, whether it's a credit card debt, a car loan, as I said, a student loan. Let's say the very first debt that you have, that's the smallest, is £1,000. And let's say the most expensive is £20,000 as a car loan, okay? What you do is you, of course, pay your minimum repayments every month. You will always pay these no matter what method you're using, because if you don't pay these, you will get penalties, fees, and it'll, of course, affect your credit score too. So in this list, you start to pay minimum payments and then you start to tackle the first one first. So let's say £1,000, any sort of extra money that you may have, whether it's maybe not going for takeaway, not buying clothes that month, you will put it all towards that very first amount and then pay off that £1,000. Once you've paid that off, then you move to the next one and of course keep paying your minimum repayments on all the other debts, and then you tackle that amount of money next. And that is what the snowball method means. It's going from smallest to largest. And I think this is best for people who are maybe struggling with motivation. They see a lot of debt in their bank accounts and they're freaking out and they don't know where to start. This is where the snowball method is actually a psychologically better way to tackle your money, because that means you can tick off the smaller wins as you go along and you'll build motivation to tackle the rest of the debt. So if you're really struggling and in a bit of a hole and need a bit of motivation, I think the snowball method is best for you. The next one then is called the avalanche method. Now this is actually better because it tackles the interest rate first. The highest interest rate is what you tackle first, down to the lowest interest rate. So for example, if I do this list again with the 5 same debts, but maybe look at the interest rates, the one that's the highest interest rate is what you tackle first. So let's say you have a credit card at 25% interest rate, you will tackle that first, all the way down to, let's say you have a student loan at 4% and that's the lowest one. That's what you'll tackle last. Now, of course, with this, you pay the minimum repayments, of course, every month on everything, but you tackle it from highest percentage down to lowest. And why would you do this? This is actually the best way to pay less interest overall. Because you're tackling the highest interest rate first, that is the one that is accumulating the most amount of interest, okay? So if you tackle that first, then, you'll have less interest to pay overall. However, it really depends on, your mentality to money. If you feel like you don't know where to start, snowball method is the best because you can have little tick them off as you go along, start small, end on the biggest amount. But with avalanche, if you are very committed, okay, and you just want to get it done as quickly as possible. You want to pay the least amount of interest possible. The avalanche is mathematically better. It's just where your head is at personally. So they're both really good methods. They're both tried and tested methods that have worked. And it really just depends on your preference of how you're going to tackle this, and you've got two different options there. So the third thing I'm going to talk about is if you're really serious about paying off your debts, maybe have a look at what's in your wallet right now. Do you have multiple credit cards? Maybe it's the time now to get that scissors and cut them up. You do not need credit cards, more than one credit card at a time for sure. And if you are not a credit card person and you feel you're always racking up that debt with it, you're not a credit card person, full stop, okay? So maybe it's the time, to really just chop up those credit cards now. If you're really sick of being in debt, just do it, okay? And also really have a look at the people you surround yourself with. Are your friends also in crippling debt? Do you have family members that are really not good at managing their money? Basically, the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most, you are more likely to take on their traits. So maybe build a wider network of people who are also trying to better their life and better their financial situation, because that will help you out. If you really want to know more about why you're spending so much and you're kind of unconsciously, subconsciously tapping your card in everywhere that you go, I do a video on this which talks about, how to improve on that, which I'll pop a link in the description. If any of you out there are in crippling debt and have felt a way or found a method as well that has helped people, drop it in the comments below and we can all learn from each other. I tend to post 2 videos a week, guys, on personal finance. So if you're really serious about being better with your money, increasing your savings, paying off your debt, then hopefully this channel is right for you. But I'll see you soon, guys. Okay, bye.